Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we go into day 5 of the first test between Bangladesh and India. Many were thinking that the job would be done on day 4. It wasn't to be because Bangladesh are showing some stiff resistance in the second innings, thanks particularly to their opener on debut getting a sensational 100, and they still have their captain at the crease. We'll, of course, dissect what's gone by on gripping day 4. If you guys saw any of it, with, of course, Somesh Agarwal and Anirudh Suresh, who will just join us in due course. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know that in the comments below. We'll talk about that. There's so much to talk about. Kuldeep, Ashwin, few narratives, and I'm sure Som will show us numbers as well. Speaking of the man, let's get him on and ask him really what he felt on day 4, because we were kind of thinking it's going to be pretty much India's day, but they still have lots to do. 4 wickets to get, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to watch the Bangladesh fight back. Very happy for the opener to just get a century on debut.
Yeah.
This, by the way, the 400 that India have conceded in the 4th innings this year, and they top the list. They have the second worst bowling average in 4th innings after New Zealand. So yeah, I'm just hoping that India do not continue this in the next year. Apart from that, I mean, it was a good watch. I mean, it's good that after the first innings, one must have thought that no, Bangladesh would be deflated and the game would be over today. But it's good from the next test perspective that even their batters are asking a few questions.
So as it stands, Bangladesh need 241 runs. India need those 4 wickets in their 3 sessions remaining. I think the weather's going to not hamper proceedings by any stretch. Is there a case where Bangladesh could pull off a miracle? We've seen strange things happen before in Chattogram, but it's inevitable, right, that India will get the points in this zone?
I mean, can't say inevitable because ultimately it's a game of cricket. And Mehdi has already given India a few, doses, if I use that word, in this tour. So I think this wicket, this stand would be crucial. It was pretty interesting that both Shakib and Mehdi were playing matchups towards the end of the day. Shakib was not running against Aksar so as to prevent Mehdi to take strike, and Mehdi was playing bulk of Kuldeep. So not sure if I was not sure that if I was aligned to that approach, but pretty interesting. At least Bangladesh are in it, and they're fighting. They did not throw the wickets away.
Yeah, I mean, look at their openers and what they carved out.
Everyone apart from Litton, that was a very soft dismissal. Yeah.
That is true. Now, if we just take a look at the Indian bowling card as well, generally, we knew that the Pacers wouldn't be bowling that much, and the bulk of the bowling was done by those 3 spinners. Ashwin, 27 overs. Akshar, likewise, 27 overs, but he picked up 3 wickets. And Kuldeep was pretty tidy in his 80 overs. Let's talk about the first man, Ravichandran Ashwin. He went wicketless in the first innings, so but he's got just 1 in the 27 overs, like I mentioned here. Have you seen anything different? Do you want to tell the viewers?
Obviously, this is something that probably a lot of people would have noticed that there was the usual Ashwin patience lacking. He was into both sides of wickets, which is slightly unlike him, specifically to left-handers. Usually, he has left-handers on toast, but in this test, he has not done that great. I mean, just to paint a picture, I have a few graphics with me, which I'll like to, use to show what I'm trying to say. So, yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Yes. Can you see it? Yeah. So this was no, not this. Wait.
Not this.
Oh, you uploaded both the same ones.
Is it the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. We'll just have that up on the screen just shortly. But yeah, go on about Ashwin in terms of what was different.
Yeah, I mean, so just to once we have that graphic up, maybe I'll have to talk. I can talk through it.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure. I mean, Ashwin himself is, I mean, obviously better than us. He himself knows about this. So maybe we can start with this itself first and see. So this was Ashwin against left-handers. in the last test that he played in subcontinent, which was against Sri Lanka. And if you can see, his line is pretty tight, either in line to the stumps or just outside off, which has not been the case in this test, because a lot of his balls have been towards the leg side as well. And yeah, I think if we look at so this is him in this test, and
Yeah.
this beehive is a little more scattered, which is unlike him. But as I said earlier, Ashwin, knowing the genius he is, he must be aware of this himself. uh, I know a lot of people are blaming him playing a lot of white ball cricket, blaming this on a lot of white ball cricket, but let's not forget he's playing test cricket after a while, and it's not like he was playing red ball games all this while. So we should give him some benefit of doubt. If this persists, then maybe we can talk about him, in terms of losing his test skills to white ball. But it's too early to make such arguments. For now, I think it's a one-off, and I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back.
Okay, let's see what Anirudh thinks of it all in terms of Ashwin and much more in this post-match chat of day 4. Remember, Anirudh, what is it with Ashwin kind of right now? Are we being too harsh in the sense because we've relied on him, particularly him being and feasting in subcontinental pitches, but it's not gone his way this test match? It's a one-off, right?
Yeah, of course it is a one-off, and Ashwin hasn't played probably since Sri Lanka, right? I don't think he played the one-off test against England.
Yeah, he did.
So,
Yeah.
and so his last first-class match came months ago. So there might be some rust as well from Ashwin's part. But again, even taking rust into consideration, it is very uncharacteristic of Ashwin to not just go one but two innings, nearly 40 overs without posing uh, much of a threat against a batting lineup dominated by left-handers on a wicket. Let's be honest, which has done enough for a bowler like Ashwin to exploit. So slightly uncharacteristic if you look at it that way, but yeah, we should. It will be silly to judge him. In case this goes on for the next match as well, and he kind of struggles, then it might be something worth talking about. But I think we can. He's one. Probably he's one of the. He's the biggest reason why India have the best. India are invincible in subcontinent in the last 8 or so years. So he can afford to have a bad game or two. So cut him some slack, I guess. So yeah.
Okay, fair.
The Aussie
So
fan, the
I
Aussie
think
fan in Anirudh might want for the things to go differently, but yeah, I'm pretty confident about Ashwin bouncing back.
Okay, sticking with spin, let's just take this comment by Pranav Anand, who goes on to ask you guys, what's India's best bet to take wickets on slow turners like these? Kanpur versus New Zealand, etc. Kuldeep or a wrist spinner who looks like a good option, or maybe someone who can get extra bounce like Sundar too. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's a good shout, and that's precisely why Kuldeep is playing this game. But let's not forget, I mean, both Ashwin and Akshar have their own qualities themselves. So, I mean, Akshar can actually bowl with a new ball, wider angles, all those sort of things. And he has been underbowled, in my opinion, in this test. And when he was brought back, he got those righties out. So, yeah, I mean, it's good again, but I mean, Sundar in tests, while Ashwin is still there, I mean, it's like going too far. For now, I would want India to just persist with Sundar in white ball cricket and have Ashwin consistently just keep himself mentally ready for the red ball thing.
yeah, I think that's a good call from you because essentially we want Ashwin to, I don't know, do well, especially in that Australia series in February. It'll be interesting to see how he goes about his business over there. Yeah, come in. Anirudh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not just about the spinners. If you look at it, India this year have the second worst bowling average in the fourth innings, just after New Zealand. And New Zealand played 3 matches in England on some really flat surfaces, whereas India played a couple of matches in proper bowling wickets in South Africa as well. And one pattern, I know we are holding the spinners accountable here and in Kanpur, for example, but one player who has featured in all matches is Mohammad Siraj, and I noticed something interesting about Siraj is that he has a very abysmal record in the fourth innings of matches. His average is 53.83 in the fourth innings of matches, which is by far his the worst type innings in terms of innings, the worst phase in test, because in first innings of matches he averages close to 40, second innings 21.1, third innings 26.90, and fourth innings 53.83. And Siraj has done all right in this match, but in the second innings, I mean. But again, we did see him deliver a few looseners in the first session, and he's not been that threatening. So, given Siraj played here at Edgbaston in South Africa, so maybe that's something that is enough sample size to probably look at it and just probably figure out what's kind of ailing Siraj in the fourth innings. I can't put a finger on it, but I'm sure there'll be something which is maybe it's just a matter of him running out of gas, or I'm not sure what's exactly wrong with Siraj, but the numbers clearly say that there's a repetitive pattern that Siraj is slightly ineffective in the fourth inning. So that's also something that can be looked at, I guess.
I mean, it makes you just think about KL Rahul's tactics as captain today out there. I thought he should have really persisted with spin more. I mean, someone brought that up in the WhatsApp chat earlier this morning, saying after Dhoni, not many captains did that. And it gives you the impression that, look, I know I'm a Kohli fan, but if this test match was happening 4 or 5 years ago, this game would have been dead and buried. I think India would have just gone for it, and they would have gone for the kill.
I mean, I feel everyone is being far too critical. It's like it's very easy to I mean, it's anyway India are in a driving seat, and this game highly likely would be over and it will be in India's favor before it's done tomorrow. So I mean, no point being so critical. I mean, we as Indian cricket lovers are in a very weird space at the moment that we are just finding faults for no reason. India had like winning this game 99 out of 100 times. So I mean,
but are we now
being harsh?
looking at
I mean, and I think,
England
see, I'll tell you what. A lot of people really wanted India to start with spin, but let me tell you something. Even in Kohli, this is something that Kohli Shastri initiated, right? Because Dhoni as a captain was pretty, laid back in this approach that okay, I'll just have start with spin every time, and that's what happened. Even when India played outside subcontinent, as a captain, he was not ready to use. I mean, he was not prepared to use spacers. And this is exactly what Kohli and Shastri changed in their era, and this is continuing. I mean, what's the point of having pacers in the side if you're not going to give them new balls? I know they can come back and reverse swing the ball, but they can do it after having a good spell with the new ball as well. And even in the first innings, pacers got you wickets. Probably what India could have done is alternate, but they did. I mean, I think in this morning itself, they're alternating between. With a pacer from one end and a spinner from the other. So, I mean, it's like being super critical. Sometimes you have to credit the opposition and also the pitch. Pitch has been just slowing down. The last test that was played on this venue sort of saw fourth innings chase. So, I mean, let's just cut this Indian team a slack. They play a lot of cricket and they're doing well. They're winning this test. I mean, just unnecessary criticism in our opinion. The only criticism that we can have is probably pacers were a little too wide. They did not make the batters play enough balls. That's about it. And Ashwin's lines. That's it. I mean, but apart from that, India have done pretty well in this test, and no point.
Yeah, look, I was just being devil's advocate and kind of looking at all the comments going on right now. So the fact that everyone kind of is comparing this India team or any team right now to England and how Ben Stokes and Bazball is being so bloody good. I mean, look at this comment, for example. If India win the test match, it'll be based on skill with zero tactics. He has a point, Shubham. I don't know how we want to see cricket to be played going forward, because England always going to raise the bar. We saw it even in the morning session of that Karachi test today. They gave Mark Wood a short burst. And I think Kohli used to do that, where you probably get the pacer in for 3 to 4 overs and kind of get the best out of the pacer, and then probably
exactly that is what happened, right? That is what got the wicket. Umesh Yadav got the wicket.
True, but do you think? I mean, especially in the morning session, the first 10 overs, yeah, sure, but then it just kind of was like running through the motions. I mean, could they have done anything? Is all I'm asking.
I agree with Somesh that when he says that we are all overreacting, because if you remember the Perth Test match between West Indies and Australia a couple of weeks ago, where Craig Brathwaite scored a fourth inning century, and Australia were playing at home, and it went till the fifth day, and Australia won only on the fifth day. So mean, it happens. Sometimes wickets flatten out. It's difficult to take wickets. The bowlers kind of tire out. The batters, opposition batters, play well. So not everything is about a tactical blunder, or not everything is a bad decision or a bad call. Sport is like this, right? It's about ebbs and flows, right? So today was a day where Bangladesh had the edge, and India must be happy that they still managed to pick 6 wickets, and they are in pole position to wrap up the match in one session tomorrow, and probably take a 1-0 lead. And that's all you could have asked for before, because India got a very challenging this thing. They got a very challenging day one with the bat. They had a very good outing with the ball on day two, and they got great batting practice on the third day, where Pujara, Kohli, and sorry, no, Pujara and Gill scored centuries, and those were good conditions. And now the bowlers are being tested on the final 2 days, where the pitch has flattened out and the batters are showing resilience, and you're having to kind of push yourself to get the wicket. So ultimately, it's this is what Test cricket is about. If Test cricket was always about just the better team coming in and blasting the other team out, and just winning in 30 overs or whatever, it would be boring, right? So I mean, this is fine. And Bangladesh are a good team at home. They've beaten Australia, they've beaten England. They're not, they are no, they're not a very weak team at home, even though the records say that they're pretty poor. But if the conditions are good, Bangladesh are a pretty decent side. So yeah, we can reserve our judgments at least till the next match. If India do end up drawing the series, then yeah, we can probably be slightly critical. But right now, there's no point in criticizing anything, I feel.
Okay,
Yeah, and
fair.
if we talk about tactics, the only thing that I've been uncomfortable with, and I've been uncomfortable with this for a while now, that I don't know what India's slip cordon is, to be honest. At least when Rahane was in the team, I knew that against spin, Rahane would be the slip catcher. But at the moment, I mean, this is one thing with India, and it has been for a while. If I have to count, I think Rohit and Rahul are the best slip catchers in the team. But when Rohit is not playing and now Rahul is the captain, it's just that slip cordon makes me a little anxious, because I don't think Kohli is a slip catcher. I mean, I don't want to put an adjective behind it, but I don't think he should be in the slips. Time and time again, we have seen that, and it makes me pretty uncomfortable that India do not have a proper slip cordon. So I think if you talk about tactics, that is the only thing that I feel uncomfortable with, and it's not just about the captain. At least having a proper slip cordon for against pacers versus spinners it's the responsibility of the management as well. So it has to come from them, that to define a slip cordon and make them prepare for those situations. And I
Yeah,
mean, it shouldn't be left to people deciding themselves. People who are better slip catchers should be there.
yeah. I mean, obviously, Rohit is in that position normally, but I completely
Yeah,
get
but
your
he
point.
hardly plays tests for India. So I mean, they need to identify their slip cordon without Rohit too.
Yep, indeed. Look, we got lots of questions. We'll just end with a couple of fans asking Som in particular, a couple of crucial ones. Subochavan going on to say, is KL Rahul has an attacking mindset in the longest format of the game? I just feel it's too boring and bad after. What are your thoughts?
I think he was India's second best batter when India were 2-1 up in England. I mean, I'll put both him and Rohit on the same pedestal. And if the guy has bossed a series in England, a series where India have been humbled the past 3 times they went before this. So I mean, it's pretty weird. KL Rahul, I mean, you can talk about his mindset in T20s, that's fine. But then again, like the selectors and everyone, we are also mixing formats, right? I mean, KL Rahul's mindset is not as attacking as should be in T20Is. He's done really well in ODIs, and there is no problem in his mindset in tests as well. If a guy is scoring hundreds in England and South Africa, and this is the first test he's played in subcontinent since 2018. So I mean, let's cut him some slack.
Okay. Here's one more for you, Som. Sobe, sir, do you think
So for this, you should just wait for a detailed video that we guys will do. Of course, I mean, it will involve. We're trying to do something different. The video will come out next Tuesday, so just hang on to it, and you will get your answer on Daniel Sams.
Okay, super. I purposely plugged that in because We have, of course, Som during the watch along later on tonight between the India women's and the Australia women's 40-20. So join us then. We can probably talk about different things because as watch along, we kind of tend to meander to different topics. Just to finish up, guys, how much or how quickly will India win this game, or will there be a miracle? Because remember, Mehdi Hassan's still at the crease. He got 100 not too long ago against India. I know it's a different format, but he'll take some solace from that. And Shakib seems like a wounded tiger as a captain, could come out, and we saw him already counterattack the bowling. Is there a glimmer of hope if you're a Bangladesh fan, or do you think India are going to get the job done easily post the first session?
I think it'll probably take India between. They'll probably get it done in the final 30 minutes of the first session. They should get it done in the final 30 minutes of the first session. But that being said, the pitch might again, the roller is used, the pitch might not play as many tricks as it did in the last 30 minutes today. So it might be a bit easier for the batters to bat on so that it might extend until the second session. Worst case, Bangladesh, given they have only 4 wickets in hand, it's just very hard to see them survive this. But in case they have to survive, they want this partnership to bat for 2 sessions at least, so that the last 3 wickets can just survive by the skin of their teeth and just pull off a miracle. But yeah, I think India between 25 to 30 overs tomorrow, I think they will win.
Okay. Do you agree with Anirudh? Som?
I agree with comments from Greg. I think sometime in the second session should be wrapped up. Yeah, but I mean the point is it's just this partnership. After that, I don't see a lot of solid defense coming from Bangladesh side, and I mean Ibadat is injured anyway, so he might just come swinging.
Oh, the player with the average, which is lower than his
economy rate.
That's ridiculous.
Not anymore. I think not after the first innings.
Yeah, for sure. Look, guys, good predictions, and ultimately India need the points for that WTC final. I think everyone's kind of looking at that from that lens. If it is a Super Sunday in terms of getting the job done, great, so be it. Maybe the second session, Greg was right, Som was right, and Anirudh as well, to a certain extent. Look, we can go on and on, but you guys can catch us on the watch along later tonight. We will, of course.
But no men's, we won't be taking any men cricket question. So if you're interested in women's cricket, please. Because we don't want to talk about the IPL when we are focusing on Indian Eves.
Exactly.
They deserve our full attention.
Subodh Chavan is going mad in the comments even right now because he's saying, please take my last question.
Maybe we can take that. I mean, it's fine.
So basically, Som, he wants to know who is better, Sky or AB de Villiers, according to you? Who has the most shots, AB de Villiers or Suryakumar Yadav?
So, if I see Sky playing a reverse sweep to Pacers, then maybe I'll give that to Sky. But at the moment, I think AB de Villiers. Plus, I mean, the proper answer is I don't ever like comparing players across era, because if you start doing it, then people might say that, oh, this player was better than Bradman or this player was better than Sachin. So I've never been comfortable in that discussion. You should compare players who've played together, because I think Sky is doing what he's doing because AB set certain standards. Now 10 years later, they'll come up player who would have more shots than even Sky and AB put together. So that's what happens across eras. There are players across sport who set a certain bar, and then there are players who train themselves from the very beginning to hop over that bar, and that is how sport, even while being monotonous, they keep going on across decades and centuries.
Yeah, good points there. Look, we can go on and on. We will catch you guys soon. Thank you so much for tuning into this Day 4 review. Hopefully, India get the job done on Day 5. It's a goodbye from me, Avnish Hegde. Of course, appreciate Anirudh and Somesh's time too. Right, so catch us in the watch along later today. There's some fantastic content coming out throughout the weekend as well before we build up to the IPL auction day. So subscribe, hit the bell icon, and like this video, share it with many friends. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Have a good tea.